Close. No cigar. But yeah, this thing's this close to breathing fire.
Hello and welcome back to Drybones Garage. This video is a part of a little series me and my dad are doing where we take the 63 Corvair that we found and we build it up into a hot rod. This video is going to be about us getting the chassis and the body realigned again because we screwed that up when we tried to put the floor pan in the last episode, the end of the last episode. Go check that out. But other than that, I hope you like it. First off, we made sure that there was clearance to the grooves inside the nuts to screw in the body mounts.
Yeah, gotta get through this. Once you're through that, you're good. You see the little seam in there? I went a little bit deep, but not bad, okay?
Around this point, I started to feel sick, so my mom and my sister helped out in the garage when I was away.
I thought Erin was asking about body mounts out here, which we don't have yet. And
what was she asking about?
kind of half-baked. There's,
I was asking if I need to put
on the cutlass, there were spots here for the body bushings. We're getting rid of the bushings and actually going to rigidly mount this to the frame. Kind of try and put some meat back into the Corvair and stiffen up the G-body, which is a relatively soft platform, and their weight savings for fuel economy, blah, 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 blah. Back in the late 70s, early 80s, they took a lot of strength out of those frames, a lot of weight. So rather than use bushings and have this thing be a pillow, we're gonna build steel to steel and try and have everything work together to reinforce new and old. And then we're gonna have to do something in here. I think what we're going to end up doing is extending this structure out to the sides farther and then dogleg it down to where the frame is sitting and then build an interface. I'm just not sure how we're going to do that yet. To give real strength and meat to the back side of the car so if she gets hit, the car doesn't fold. I'm pretty certain we're going to use a 3rd gen F-body gas tank in this thing. I'm cheating. I saw another guy do this with a G-body, and he used a 3rd gen F-body gas tank. So
Yeah.
we'll kind of copy that formula that has already been done and seemed to work. Granted, he just had his filler neck in the floor. I want to reutilize the neck out of this thing if we can, and the fuel door, and actually mount it back here so the car looks like it came from the factory.
After that, my dad explained to my mom more in depth what happened at the end of the last episode with the floor.
And then when I went to fit that, it was too wide to slide through the door and rotate in. And it was too wide for the stand, so I picked the whole back end of the car a couple inches off the ground to get the pan in there, removed those stands, and everything kind of went forward, the body more so than the frame. And now everything's catawampus and nothing's lining out right, when last time it almost fell together like, you know, like it was meant to be. So now it's gonna fight us. Try picking that frame up if you can. Get a blade on it.
With the jack?
Yes. Okay. What I need you to do is when I pick pick this up next, move this back to about here, and then that'll give us a bite. I think that stand needs to come up one notch. You ready? Good! Okay, that corner does need to come up. And we're picking the whole car. The G-body would have just been like... It's already stiffer than the parent car. She's full bubble, but to the side. Close. No cigar.
0.1. 0.
That's 0. And the problem is the car is actually floating over the stand back here. I haven't hooked this kind of, this opening in the frame where it kind of bows up a little bit. Yes, that should land us where we need to be.
It's not going.
Clear? She's resting closer. We still got that funk in the frame. Now, is that the frame or is that the car? What's that look like?
0.2.
Really? Still?
0.1.
Really? Okay, how about there?
1. 2. 0. 1.
I really wish I had bought more of these trailer stands. These are nice. How is that possible? According to this, everything went to... I think we're going to need to get those trailer stands to get this thing to square up.
Yeah.
I think we're dead in the water. If I remember right, the stands are a little too tall. We can't actually adjust them down enough. So maybe what we could do is put some 4x underneath the tires and just set the car down on the 4x. Because I've got the 6x underneath the Oldsmobile holding it off the ground because I don't want those tires getting flat spotted. That's the wheels and tires that I got slated for that car. But that one is set for that, wheel and tire size for the Speedo. I've got some wheels picked out for it, but they're just not in the budget right now because we're putting everything into this. Come spring, we'll have to do something about it, but not right now. Unless that thing's running, then just put those tires on that. We'll probably end up starting to take the olds apart.
How much do you have to do with it now?
I've got to finish the rad mount for it, the upper rad mount. We've got to get some intake plumbing on it, wire up the fans, put power to the computer, get a battery for it, get the power steering pump mounted and plumbed, and figure out the alternator situation on that. I'm not comfortable that I know what I'm doing there. And cut the tachometer. The need for that go back inside because it's gonna feed off the computer on this thing now. But yeah, this thing's this close to breathing fire. A lot of buttoning stuff up. It's all just kind of laying in here loose right now. I'll have to loom everything, get some heat wrap around the wiring, and I'd like to actually build some sort of a shield that we can bolt to the back of that head to kind of keep everything away from the headers. Throttle cable, because the Silverado one isn't long enough. Gonna have to get one for a van, I think. That or just get a universal aftermarket. But I want this thing to almost look as if it could have come from the factory. I'm trying to keep everything under here as subtle as possible. So we're going to have to look at this again. This says we're a little high in that corner.
It's a little warpy. It's the warpy chassis and warpiness. Yes.
Centered in the hole.
That's good, right?
Well, that looks tight to me.
Why is it making that weird noise?
because there's nothing but fluid in the power steering pump. And what's left in it, the juice is just kind of spitting and gurgling. You can do one of two things here. When the car is going straight down the road, wheels and tires look good, you know. If you start turning in this pinch weld here, it starts looking like it might interfere. I think what we're going to end up doing probably is rolling that. We'll just fold it flat in there. I think we're going to I know we're going to put wider tires on this thing, but I think they're going to be shorter. All right, let's get these stands underneath the body. And we'll start picking this thing up and realigning it where we wanted it. Get it squared up. I'm not going to worry about the nose yet because I think we got some flop issues up here, but we do want to get the cells, make sure that they're still at the proper width. I don't think the body has splayed, but that doesn't mean it hasn't when we cut that meat out of the car. That was a fail on our part. We should have actually tacked it to the frame or did something to actually hold it to the frame when we cut those braces out of the way for the packs. But I wasn't anticipating having to move the car as radically as we did when we put those pans in the car, so I'll think twice about it. First time and all.
So that's about it today. I kind of made a thumbnail way back where it had the question Corvus or Cutlaire because the fusion of the Cutlass chassis and the Corvair body. I'm thinking about making a poll where you guys could vote and we could see your suggestions. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll see you next time. Bye!
All I see is your hair. Oh look, it's your hand. Oh, now we got hair over here too.